Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a speech pathology student from University Science Malaysia. And in this video, I'll be showing to you the analysis of the language of a person with language impairment due to Alzheimer's disease. I'll be analyzing the language of Alice, who is the main character of the movie Still Alice. Now, she is a linguistics lecturer and is diagnosed with familial Alzheimer's disease, and this has caused her to have language impairment. I'll be analyzing her language from the perspective of components of language, which are phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Because when there is a language impairment, there will be deficits in one of these components or a few of these components. And because her language impairment is also manifested through her speech production, I will also be analyzing her speech from the perspective of levels of speech production, which are the message level to the functional level, the positional level, phonological encoding level, and speech gesture level. I'll be looking at which level an error occurred that resulted in her error or impairment during speech. Now, let's take a look at Alice's language at a scene before her language skills started declining.
Lydia, don't you think it's time you reconsidered things? You're so smart. There's so much more you could be doing with your life.
Like going to college?
Yes, like college.
Yeah, like we've never talked about that before. Like every single day of my life. I figured out what I wanted to do and I'm doing it. It's a good thing.
But on whose dime?
You're helping Tom with med school. You helped Anna with law school.
Sweetheart, those are real careers. I just don't want you to limit your choices.
You want to make my choices.
No, I don't.
I'm really happy.
I'm sorry, I don't want to argue about this. Just forget I said anything, okay?
It's forgotten.
In this scene, we can say that there is no deficit in her phonology because she can articulate all the speech sounds correctly and her speech is intelligible. Also, her morphology is intact because all the words she used are in the correct form with the correct morphemes and the verb endings, etc. Next, there is also no deficit in syntax because the words are combined in the correct order to form a sentence with the correct order too, the correct structure. Also, there is no deficit in semantics because she can use her words correctly and can retrieve her words that she wants to use that has a correct meaning in her speech. And lastly, there's also no deficit in her pragmatics because she can use language in a social context and can communicate using language effectively. In terms of levels of speech production, knowing that she can communicate effectively and that there is no errors in her speech, we can infer that there is no impairment in her language production process. Now, let's take a look at the scenes with language impairment. The problems faced by Alice due to her language impairment can be generally described by these words. Let's take a look.
And now sometimes I can see the words hanging in front of me and I can't reach them and I don't know who I am and I don't know what I'm going to lose next.
Now, that she was referring to the word retrieval problem. She has the words in her head, but she just can't seem to get them out of her head. So that's the problem that she's facing. Now, we'll take a closer look at the following scenes. Notice how Alice has difficulty trying to find the words that she wants.
Just give it one more shot, okay?
I can't because I have done it already. I use this yellow thingy to mark it so I don't have to read the same line over and over and over and over again.
Got it.
Well, it's not academia. They don't give sabbaticals.
But to pick up and move right when why can't I say what I want to say?
From these two scenes, it's very clear that she has word retrieval difficulty. She can't say the words that she wants to say she can't seem to get the words out of her head. And because of this, we say that there is deficit in semantics because she has difficulty in finding the words with the correct meaning to say what she wants. And when there is difficulty in saying what she wants, her pragmatics is also affected, pragmatics of language. There is deficit in pragmatics also, because when you can't find the word to use, you can't communicate effectively. That is why her pragmatics is also affected. In terms of levels of speech production, we can say that she is stuck at the functional level of speech production. This is because she knows what she wants to say, but she just can't seem to get them out of her head. She knows the meanings. Okay, so we say that the lemmas at the functional level is activated, but the following levels are not. For example, in the highlighter scene, when she said, I use this yellow thingy. Okay, she uses yellow thingy as a substitute to refer to a highlighter because she has the meaning, the lemma of a highlighter is activated, but the phonemic form is not. That is why she can't seem to get the word highlighter out of her head. Alright, moving on to this next scene, we will see how Alice retrieves the wrong word in her speech. Let's take a look.
What I liked about it was how big, how wide the scope of it was.
Yeah, the scope of it.
The scope, yeah, that's the word. Oh God, listen to me.
Now in this scene, we see that Alice actually intended to say, I like how big the scope was, but instead she ended up saying, I like how big the scape was. In terms of language components, again we say that it's another deficit in semantics because she retrieved the wrong word. In terms of levels of language production, we say that there is an error in the phonological encoding level in which the wrong phoneme or the wrong vowel was activated. In Alice's speech, she wanted to say scope with the vowel O, but the wrong vowel was activated. The vowel A was activated as in scape. This resulted in her saying scape instead of scope. Now, let's take a look at this last scene of the movie.
What I just read. Did you like it? What was it about?
Love. Yeah, love.
Yeah. It was about love.
In this last scene, when Alice was asked by her daughter on what was the story about, Alice could not say what was it about. Instead, she just replied simply one word, love. Now, we can look at this from a few perspectives. One perspective is that now her working memory is already very poor and she can't hold on to information as much as before. And because she can't do that, she could not recall anything about the story and could not tell her daughter what was the story about, and just replied love in one simple word. From the perspective of components of language, we can say that she has deficits in semantics again, because she can't find the words she needed to tell her daughter about what the story was about. Instead, she could only find the word love, and because of that, she only replied in just one word. And because of this difficulty, she couldn't answer her daughter's question, which resulted in a deficit in pragmatics, in which she couldn't answer questions in a communication. To conclude, Alice was able to speak normally before her language impairment. However, when her language skills started to decline, her main problem was word retrieval difficulty, in which she can't find the words she wants to use during conversation. This has caused deficit to semantics and pragmatics of her language. Having said that, the components of phonology, morphology, and syntax of her language are still intact. In terms of levels of language production, her speech errors are mostly due to being stuck at the functional level and not being able to move on from the functional level to the following levels in language production. This perspective very well explains the word retrieval difficulty that she faces. In another case, she had errors at the phonological encoding level, which resulted in her retrieving the wrong word during speech. I hope you find this video helpful, and I hope it helped you understand the analysis of a person's language before language impairment and after someone has had language impairment. And hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.